What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt. I'm Derek, and on December 19th, I had to think about it for a second, me and my buddy, that I will just affectionately call him Freak, we went and saw Sonic 3, directed by Jeff Fowler. Now, between illness that's been going around, because it seems like it's just one thing after another, and I got sucked into Sonic Frontiers super hard, which I did end up getting the platinum for it, which Sonic Frontiers is a whole nother conversation on its own. I'm definitely behind on getting this one out, and I have definitely wanted to record this earlier, but better late than never, I suppose. Now, before I start in the review, as some of you may already know from my previous Sonic series review where I reviewed Sonic 1, 2, and Knuckles, I'm a huge Sonic fan. I absolutely love Sonic. So this is coming from more of a video game fan perspective than a film buff perspective. Now, I am going to keep this spoiler free because Sonic 3 is just awesome, and it's only been in theaters like a week. So, yeah. Super quick plot synopsis. Sonic and his friends are up against an adversary much more powerful than them all. Alright, who's in Sonic 3? We've got a lot of the same cast returning from the previous entries, which is already a plus. Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, and Grandpa Robotnik, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure his name was Gerald Robotnik. Keanu Reeves as Shadow, Idris Elba as Knuckles, and Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails, or I guess O'Shag Hennessy if you want to be a dick about it. Everybody's got to know what I'm referencing right there. All right. So, what's good about Sonic 3? Now, a lot of the pluses that I had for Sonic 1 and 2 in my previous review that I've already mentioned, they apply here as well. So, if you haven't seen that one, please, by all means, check it out. You'll understand what I'm talking about by mentioning that. This movie is so much darker than the first two, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. Shadow's backstory is very sad, of course. Like, if you played the games, you know. They don't stray too far from that. But it's not just Shadow that gets darker, and I'm not going to say anything else. Alright. I thought Knuckles was absolutely fucking hilarious in this movie. I know in Sonic 2, he was more the bad guy the first little bit and then didn't really get like funny until later on in the movie. We get full on hilarious Knuckles. Idris Elba, absolutely amazing. The music choices in this movie, they get a big 2 thumbs up, especially towards the end of the movie. I jumped out of my seat. The only reason I'm calling my friend affectionately Freak is because his name is Jacob as well, and it's a different Jacob. Just so there's no confusion or anything. And I know right now he's probably watching this like, yeah, that's not the only reason you're calling me that, you asshole. Well, you know what? I say it with love, so fuck you. Jim Carrey, of course, he was a massive plus from 1 and 2 as well. He brings yet another exciting performance and just fun portrayal of Robotnik. And it's awesome to see from Sonic 1 to where we are now with Sonic 3, Robotnik's over his arc. And I love the evolution of the character and everything that they've done. I just hope... I don't know. Because they've already announced Sonic 4. And if Jim Carrey comes back, I will be excited. If he doesn't, I will completely understand it. Because Jim Carrey's getting up there in age, you know. Keanu. I love Keanu. Now, he was absolutely perfect as Shadow. I think that's all the more I need to say about that. One thing that I don't view as a spoiler, if anything, it's informative for people. Because when me and Jacob went and saw it, there, of course, just like in 1 and 2, there are post-credit scenes and mid-credit scenes. There's one of each. And people, getting up and walking. I figured the Age of Marvel would show people we do not leave until the end credits are done, just to make sure. But, so now you know, there is a mid-credit scene, which I honestly thought, and this might be controversial all on its own, I thought the mid-credit scene was better than 2, and then there was a post-credit scene, which I'm not going to go in depth on those. So you can experience that and not have to worry about at least me spoiling it for you. Even though they did leak online like a few days before the movie came out, which thankfully I was able to avoid. And hopefully you guys are able to avoid as well. All right, and lastly, to the crew and director Jeff Fowler, I'm just going to say thank you as a diehard Sonic fan. And it really shows throughout this entire movie that they are fans of the franchise as well. So they actually care. They're not coming in just to get a paycheck. And they put a lot of love and effort into this movie, and it shows. So, once again, thank you. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Now, what's bad about Sonic 3? Because I do have a few... I have one complaint and then one continuity issue that I have. That may be a spoiler, but I'm going to say it because it's got to be said. I haven't heard anybody else talking about this, which kind of baffles me. Now, Kristen Ritter, I was very excited for her to come into the franchise because, obviously Jessica Jones was awesome. Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, Breaking Bad. She's been in a lot of good stuff, but she doesn't get hardly any time in this movie. And I know some people are saying, well, it's about Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Shadow, all the CG characters. Yeah, but part of the thing that made the first movie as good as it was the fact that there was that human element. So I hope they're not getting further away from that because I still think that is definitely needed for these movies to be successful. Also, Adam Pawley he was in one scene. And I know he just got he was like, main bill for Knuckles, the miniseries. But I would have liked some more Wade in the movie. Let me just say that. Now, my massive continuity issue that I have. In Sonic 2, when they're at the wedding, and it's just the sister and Maddie, and they got the general guy talking to them. After the events in San Francisco, they formed Gun, basically, after San Francisco. Okay, so that was 2020 that apparently happened in. Okay, you flash back to 1974, because Shadow has been under for quite a while. Gun existed in 1974. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is that makes no sense, because if it was formed in 2020, but existed in 1974, we've got a massive issue. And that could also spell problems going forward if they try to undo specific things from the previous movies just to make it work in a plot in a future film. So that does give me some concern that they will do that, because I hope they don't. Because when you can, why the hell, what? And, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't work and it pisses me off. And I know I can't be the only one that it makes mad about that. So, all right, rewatch by review. Would I watch this again? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Would I buy this? Oh, yes. I definitely will be buying it. I already have 1 and 2 on 4K, so I got to keep the collection complete. What score would I give Sonic 3? Now, I wrestled with this one for a while, so I guess it's a good thing that I did not put this review out immediately after. I am going with a 9. I think it just barely edges Sonic 2, but Sonic 2 is still nipping at its heels, just like 1 is nipping at Sonic 2's heels, in my opinion. All in all, this has been a great trilogy of movies, and I am seriously excited for the 4th entry in the franchise. And I just hope that they keep the cast together and they keep the crew together, because they've got a magic amongst all of them. And that's part of the reason these movies are as successful as they are. that will do it for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, guys. Make sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite out of the three? Let's have a talk about it. Or let's just talk about Sonic games. I mean, I'm a huge Sonic fan, so let's make that happen. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed yourself today, and consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. And yeah, until next time, you guys have a good one.